The Drop of Rain That Never Believed in the Ocean, written by L.S. Larkey and Atlantean Astrology, LLC. The Journey of Mayim, the Drop of Rain That Never Believed in the Ocean. Chapter 1. The Fall and the Freedom. In the vast expanse of the heavens, nestled within the soft embrace of a cloud, a single drop of rain was born. Its name was Mayim. Around it, other drops formed too, whispering among themselves about the great water, the ocean from which all drops are born, and to which they will one day return. But Mayim, filled with curiosity, gazed out over the horizon. It saw only the vast sky and the endless freedom of the wind. The ocean. To Mayim, it was nothing more than a story, an idea too distant to believe in. "I don't believe in this ocean," Mayim declared, its voice filled with certainty. "Why should I believe in something I cannot see? I am my own drop, and I will find my own way." The older drops, wise from lifetimes of experience, smiled gently. "You will understand one day. We all come from the great water, and no matter how far we journey, we always return." But Mayim, determined to carve its own path, shrugged off their words. "I will fall to the earth and find my own meaning," it thought, eager to experience life for itself. One by one, the drops began their descent. Mayim, too, leaped from the cloud and tumbled through the open air. For the first time, it felt truly alive, free, independent, unburdened by the thoughts of others. "The sky is mine and I am my own," Mayim cried as it fell. But as Mayim tumbled through the sky, it began to notice how the winds shaped its path. The invisible currents pushed and pulled it in ways it could not control. "I thought I was free," Mayim whispered, confused. "But the world still shapes my path." At last, Mayim landed gently upon a blade of grass, its essence seeping into the earth, nourishing the plant. The grass stirred in gratitude. "Thank you, Mayim," it whispered. "Without you, I could not grow." Mayim was puzzled. "I am only a drop of water. I did nothing special. You have breathed life into me," the grass responded, swaying under the warmth of the sun. "In return, I offer you the eternal song of the grasslands, a melody woven from the breath of the wind and the heartbeat of the earth. This is the balance of life, each of us giving and receiving in harmony." But Mayim, yearning for the freedom of its own path, shimmered with quiet rebellion. "I seek no other's song," it murmured, drifting softly away. "I will dance to the rhythm of my own making, untamed and boundless, carried by the winds of my own choosing. I need nothing but the music within me." As the sun rose higher, Mayim felt the cool shade of the grass, a sanctuary in the heat of the day. For a fleeting moment, a thought brushed against Mayim's heart, a whisper that perhaps its presence had meaning, that perhaps it was more than a solitary wanderer. But like the morning mist, the thought vanished, and soon Mayim was drawn back into the heavens, rising on the breath of the wind to rejoin the waiting clouds. Time passed, and once more, Mayim descended from the sky, this time landing upon the roots of a delicate flower. Days unfolded, and the flower bloomed, its petals unfurling in a radiant burst of color, like the earth itself reaching toward the light. "Thank you, Mayim," the flower whispered, its voice like a sigh of petals in the breeze. "Your essence has given me life, helped me become what I was meant to be." Mayim gazed at the flower in awe, marveling at the beauty it now shared with the world. "But this beauty is yours," Mayim said softly. "I am nothing more than a simple drop of water." "No," the flower replied, its petals trembling with gentle certainty. "Your essence and mine are intertwined. Without you, I could not have bloomed. We are bound by the same breath of life." For the first time, Mayim felt something stir deep within, an awakening of compassion. It realized, however faintly, that in giving of itself, it became part of something larger, something beautiful beyond its solitary existence. Yet still, Mayim hesitated, resisting the fullness of this truth. "Perhaps," it thought, "but I remain only a single drop, drifting on the winds of the world." Chapter 2. The Shelter of the Tree. Mayim continued to wander through the endless cycle of falling and rising, sharing its essence with the earth, yet always carrying the silent belief that it was destined to journey alone. One day it found itself drawn into the roots of a mighty tree, its essence sinking deep into the soil, disappearing into the veins of the ancient being. It fed the tree's roots, nourishing them with the strength it did not know it possessed. The tree, whose branches had touched the heavens and whose roots had embraced the earth for centuries, stirred. Its voice was deep and resonant, echoing with the wisdom of ages long past. Mayim, the tree spoke, its tone filled with the weight of time. You have gifted me life, and in return I offer you shelter beneath my vast canopy, a shield against the fury of the storm. Mayim, feeling the coolness of the shade and gazing up at the towering branches, was struck by the grandeur of the tree's strength and serenity. I did not know I had strength to give, Mayim murmured, humbled by the towering presence above. The tree's voice rumbled gently, like the rolling of distant thunder. Your strength, little one, does not come from your own being alone. It flows from the great water, from the source that has birthed you and every drop before you. In that flow, in that giving, you become part of the eternal wisdom that runs beneath the earth and above the heavens. Mayim trembled at the weight of the tree's words as the storm began to rage in the skies above. The wind howled and rain lashed, but beneath the shelter of the tree, Mayim was safe, untouched by the chaos. It realized in this quiet moment that through its giving, it had received shelter and protection, an unspoken promise that life nourished life. Perhaps I have more strength than I imagined, Mayim thought, feeling the wisdom of the tree seeping into its very essence. Yet despite the tree's ancient wisdom, a doubt lingered in Mayim's heart, a quiet voice that whispered against the storm's roar. I may give and help, but I am still only a drop, Mayim mused, looking out beyond the branches into the vastness of the world. How could I, a mere drop, be part of something as grand as the ocean? How could I belong to something so vast, so infinite? The tree's roots pulsed beneath the earth, sensing Mayim's doubt. Do not mistake your size for your significance, the tree whispered, its leaves rustling in harmony with the storm. Every drop, no matter how small, carries within it the essence of the great water. It is in your flow, in your surrender to the journey, that you will understand. You are not separate from the ocean. You are the ocean, waiting to remember itself. Mayim felt the tree's wisdom ripple through its being. As the storm continued to rage, the drop pondered this truth, a deeper understanding slowly blooming within. It was not alone. It had never been. Its essence, like the tree's roots and branches, was part of something far greater, an ancient eternal flow connecting all things. Still, doubt lingered. As the storm passed and Mayim rose once more into the sky, it whispered, I am just a drop. I may help others, but I cannot be part of something so infinite. Chapter 3. The Desert Oasis and the Ocean's Call. After flowing through rivers and nourishing the earth, Mayim's journey took an unexpected turn. This time, it did not rush toward the boundless ocean, but found itself landing softly in a hidden desert oasis, a solitary gem cradled amidst the scorching sands. Surrounded by silence and the endless horizon, Mayim's journey seemed to pause, suspended in time. The oasis was a sanctuary, quiet and still, a place untouched by the world's chaos. Small creatures came to drink, and the resilient plants fought to survive in the relentless heat. But no rivers flowed here, no rushing currents, only the silent solitude of the desert's embrace. Time seemed to stretch, and Mayim began to wonder if it would remain in this forgotten place forever. But then, one day, a man appeared, exhausted and near death, stumbling toward the oasis with barely enough strength to carry himself. His skin was scorched by the desert sun, his spirit weighed down by more than the endless miles he had walked. With a final, desperate effort, the man fell to his knees by the water's edge. The man cupped Mayim in his trembling hands, drinking deeply from the oasis. As the drop entered his body, something profound stirred within Mayim. It felt the man's pain as if it were its own. His exhaustion, his sorrow, and the heavy burden of his past. Regrets began to surface within the man's soul. Regrets for words unspoken, dreams left unfulfilled, and paths not taken. Mayim could feel the weight of his sorrow as though it had carried the years alongside him. The man's heart was a landscape scarred by time, by missed opportunities, and by the ache of lost time. The man's prayers came next, whispered through his parched lips. He prayed for forgiveness, for redemption, for one last chance to live a life unburdened by the mistakes of his past. His voice was weak, but the sincerity of his plea filled the silence of the oasis. He prayed to the vast sky above, searching for an answer, for a grace he feared might never come. "I have wasted so much," the man murmured, "but if you give me just a little more time, I will live differently. I will love more deeply. I will walk the path you have set before me." As Mayim flowed through the man's veins, it felt his yearning, his regrets, and his hope intertwining into a single, powerful prayer. In that moment, Mayim gave him strength, saving his life in the quiet, desolate oasis. Days passed, and the man grew stronger. One evening, as the sun dipped low on the horizon, casting its warm glow over the desert, the man sat by the oasis, reflecting on his life and the second chance he had been given. Tears welled in his eyes, tears of sorrow for the time that had slipped away, tears of happiness for the second chance he now held, and tears of joy for the redemption he had discovered in this hidden oasis. And then, as if fulfilling some long-forgotten destiny, Mayim became part of those tears. The drop of rain, which had journeyed far and wide, now flowed from the man's eyes, carrying within it all the emotions he had experienced: sorrow, happiness, and joy, all at once. As Mayim flowed down the man's cheek, it felt something stir deep within. It had seen the depths of the human heart, felt the weight of his regrets and the lightness of his newfound hope. But as it fell toward the earth, Mayim still held on to its doubt. It could not fully believe that its journey was part of something larger. Even now, as a tear, it whispered to itself, "I am just a drop. I have saved a life, but I'm still not part of something grand like the ocean." As the tear touched the earth, it joined a small creek, flowing gently through the desert sands. Though the world around Mayim had changed, the drop's doubt remained. It could not believe that it was part of the vast ocean it had heard so much about. The creek grew wider, its currents stronger, but Mayim's heart was heavy with disbelief. "I may travel far," Mayim thought, "but I'm still only one drop." As the creek joined into a great river, Mayim felt the power of the current pulling it forward. The other drops spoke of their inevitable journey toward the ocean, but Mayim clung to its doubt. "I cannot be part of something so infinite." Finally, Mayim was swept into the great river, its waters wide and powerful, stretching toward the horizon. For the first time, Mayim began to feel the pull of something greater, but the doubt lingered. Is this the ocean they spoke of? It wondered. Can I, a single drop, truly belong to something so vast? As the river rushed toward the sea, Mayim saw it at last, the endless ocean, stretching beyond the limits of sight, its waves crashing in a song as old as time. The great water was real, yet Mayim's heart trembled. Could it truly be part of something so grand? With a final surge, the river poured into the ocean, and Mayim at last joined the endless waves. But even as it was carried into the vastness of the sea, Mayim's doubt did not fully disappear. "I am here," it thought, "but I am still only a drop. I have journeyed far and seen much, but how can I, so small and alone, be part of this?" The ocean whispered to Mayim, "You were always part of me. Every life you touched, every essence you shared was a reflection of the great water. You were never just a drop." In that moment, Mayim felt a deep peace. I was never just a drop. I was part of the ocean all along. In my journey, I have found wisdom, joy, love, and now, illumination. Mayim sank deeper into the ocean, feeling the warmth and embrace of the great water, knowing that it had finally come home. And so, the drop of rain that never believed in the ocean became one with it, flowing forever in peace, wisdom, and love.